Hello everyone. Today I'm just gonna do a pretty random video, just going through some of the recent diecast cars from Hot Wheels and Matchbox that I've gotten. Just going through them, showing you what I've gotten over the last few weeks, and giving maybe a rating of each of the cars that I'm about to show you. So let's just get into it. Basically, these are from Matchbox and Hot Wheels. Mostly these are the main lines. I also have some that are from some special series, but mostly there's no premium cars in this over here. These are at most from the silver series for Hot Wheels. For Matchbox, these are the main lines, right? So let's just get into it and start off with the box of cars over here. So this one's very cool cars from the Candy series for Matchbox. So as you can see, there's the Hummer, there's the Mobile on the top right, which is a fantasy casting. There's the Austin minivan, there's the Ford GT, the Volkswagen 4x4, and then a VW van. So all these castings, they do not have the front and back tempos. They're not super realistic. They have very fun decals at the sides, and if you can look at the top right corner, the Mobile is definitely a very fun casting with a lot of details actually etched into the plastic top. So it's pretty cool. But overall, I think I'll rate this set a 5.5 out of 10. Just because I definitely have a preference for more realistic looking cars with front and back tempos being done. Obviously these do not have them. They're good quality. They have good nice side decals and they're fun, but it's just maybe not something that I am not really something that I'm very keen on. But obviously I still bought them because they're very fun and very interesting castings. So a 5.5, right, for the 6 candy cars from Matchbox. And so let's carry on. So let's cover off the rest of the Matchbox castings that I have. So this one I recently got as well. Let's see if it's more than a 5.5 in rating. So this one is the Austin Healey 1963 3000 Mark II. Basically a roadster convertible kind of casting from Austin Healey, which is a UK company. Now I don't think that the company still exists. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this particular casting is pretty cool, and it has a very small side decals that are very clear, right, with the 63 from 1963. Just honestly quite nice in terms of the decals. In terms of the front tempos as well, I think it was done pretty nicely. The only thing is the back, the tail lights were not painted on. It's really just the back, the 63, and the trunk opening handles was done. So overall, with the brown interior, black wheels, I would give this actually a 6 out of 10. It's pretty nice. The only thing is if it would have the back the tail light tempos, I think it would be elevated to a 6.5 or 7, but right now it's a 6 out of 10. So let's move on to the next Matchbox casting that we can talk about, and this is the VW Beetle 2019. The casting is from 2019 as well. The Austin Healey, I think it's an older casting. It is 2018, right? This is 2018 casting, so it's about the same, right? So 2019 casting of the 2019 VW Beetle convertible. I think this one is pretty awesome. This one, with its very clear front and back tempos, very nice, very typical of Matchbox. Nothing at the sides, but that's fine. The back as well is very, very nicely done. Just a clean casting. Black interior, nice wheels. The shape itself kind of looks a little bit longer than an actual VW Beetle, but it's pretty close probably, and I think this one's a good casting. I'll give it a 6.5. It's definitely a really, really nice Matchbox casting. Okay, moving on. The next Matchbox casting is the Chevy Tahoe. So this is the 2023 Chevy Tahoe Z71, and this is actually a 2026 casting, right? So very, very new casting, and very, very awesome, right? This has the weight to it, right? It's pretty heavy, even though it's a plastic base. The front tempos are very, very nice. As you can see, with the Chevy. Okay, the front tempos. Nothing at the sides, but that's just what I like about Matchbox, right? And the back as well. Very nice details at the back with the tail lights, the Tahoe as well, and the Z71 on the license plate. So very, very awesome. This is really what I like, right? So if the Austin Healey was a 6.5, Austin Healey was a 6, the Beetle convertible was a 6.5, and I think this is definitely I'll give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is really, 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 really awesome, right? A 9.5 out of 10, right? So this is my really one of my favorite castings from Matchbox. It's just very realistic, very chunky, and just a fantastic casting. 9.5 out of 10. The next one from Matchbox, let's look at the Karma Rivero. Now this is a Chinese car, but made in the USA, and it's just a nice clean EV. I think the front looks a little bit funny actually. It looks a little bit void of details, but I think overall it's still pretty nice. The headlights are inserted, so that's a pretty cool touch. The details in the front, not too much. The back is nicely done, right, with the Karma text. Nice tail lights as well. So overall, I think this one, it's pretty nice. I think the color as well is pretty cool. It has a little bit of a metallic flake, kind of a grayish blue color. I think it's nice. It's definitely not Chevy Tahoe 9.5 out of 10. This one I would give it a I think I like it almost as much as the Beetle convertible, so 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for the Karma Rivero. Alright, so the second to last for Matchbox. This one is the Mini Countryman 2011. Right, so yeah, the 2011 Mini Cooper Countryman, and it's a 2018 casting. The Rivero was a 2022 casting. It's a pretty new casting, but yeah, a 2018 casting from Matchbox. Now this one, Matchbox is has really done a lot of this sort of kind of cars with, they're very squarish, like SUV type, with totally plastic construction for the top, which is not, I mean, it definitely saves them some money, but I think for collectors, it's not great because they obviously, you get less metal. Overall it still looks nice, and definitely it's a typically Matchbox kind of casting with the front and back tempos are very, very nicely done, right? So you can see, right, very, very nice. And just look at the quality of the tempos at the back. It's just fantastic, really, really awesome in terms of the tempos. The tail lights look like real tail lights. The logo for Mini is very clear. Just fantastic. I think this one, I like the wheels as well. I like the color. Honestly, if the top, they made the metal as well. They made it metal as well. Then this would be close to a 9.5 or a 9. But as of now, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid, right? It's a 7 out of 10. 7.5, right? Let's give it a 7.5. It's pretty good. The only thing is, it's the plastic, but everything else is pretty flawless, to be honest. I think the scale, maybe it's a little bit big, but I think that's not too bad. Yeah. So yeah, 7.5 for this one, and the last Matchbox. And I think I'm just gonna end the video here. Actually, I'll talk about the Hot Wheels in the next video. Right, so the last Matchbox is the RAV4. So the Toyota RAV4 Off-Road. This is a 2026 casting as well. And yeah, this one is pretty awesome actually. It's a pretty small casting, quite light, but overall it's still very, very fantastic looking. The back details are very nicely done. As you can see, that's pretty awesome. With the rear, the spare tire as well is pretty nice. It looks the same as the actual wheels, so that's plus. Two sky roofs, pretty nice. The front, the grills are nicely done. The front push bar with lights, and the lights are being tempered on. That's pretty nice. So this one again, just really, really cool. I think the front headlights is not as realistic as maybe I wanted it, but I think it's a 9 out of 10 for sure. Right, this one is very, very nice. Okay, so that's the end of this video. So obviously the winners, right, the 9.5 out of 10 for the Chevy Tahoe, and the RAV4 at 9 out of 10. These are my favorite Matchbox that I've gotten so far, and they're just really nice replica vehicles that you can see on the road. So stay tuned for the next video where I'll go through the Hot Wheels I recently acquired, and I'll give you my ratings on those.